Hey guys, and good of you to join me once again with a new guide, this time a one-stop Tassadar guide. This character is pretty cool. Tassadar is an iconic character of the Protoss ever since StarCraft 1 was released many years ago. Tassadar in Heroes of the Storm is making an entree as a ranged support hero. Now, Tassadar can be built for healing support, he can be built for general map utility, he can do an awesome wave clear as well as defending against siege. He can also be built for damage as well as vision control. So let's take a look at this extremely versatile character Tassadar. His basic abilities are Plasma Shield, Psionic Storm and Dimensional Shift. Dimensional Shift, as usual, being the escape mechanic of a character, costs the most mana in 75 mana. That's a pretty long cooldown of 20 seconds. Psionic Storm is his main damage, whereas Shield, that's why he's called a support. His trait is called Oracle. It activates to reveal an area around Tassadar, also revealing cloaked heroes. Two heroic abilities can Tassadar choose from. Force Wall, which is a zoning mechanism, which, as you imagine, is a wall built of pure energy, all harnessed from the Tassadar's own mind. And Archon is where he turns into an avatar, where he gets double damage, and his normal basic attack damage is dealt as splash damage. So a pretty powerful mechanic to wave clear, although you probably shouldn't use it just to kill lane minions, but especially in big team fights. And against something like Lost Vikings, just a lot of bodies can be hit with it simultaneously. His talents, they're pretty cool. He can upgrade either his shield, his storm, his dimensional shift. There's a lot of different abilities that we'll be taking a look at. He's got utilities like calling down a mule, or shrink ray, slowing people a bit. He's very versatile, but the one thing that Tassadar cannot do is be good at all of the things at the same time. If you build him for, let's say, map utility, siege, anti-siege, he's not going to do as much damage. If you go full damage, he's not going to do as good at vision control, for instance. Alright, let's take a look at Tassadar here. Just want to show you quickly how his abilities work and the range of them. If you take a look at Psionic Storm, and we stand at the beginning of this bush here, it reaches just a little bit outside the bush. Now we can upgrade that with Overload, and it will look like this. That's quite a lot bigger. Now let's take a look what the actual Storm range is. Storm is a circle that you can place somewhere. And you see these four little orange dots inside the circle. Two of the dots need to be just about in the range of your casting spell, like this, to be able to reach it. If you try to aim outside of the circle, he will walk a little bit to do that storm. Yeah, so his storm can be upgraded in range. Then we've got shield, and this can be used on buildings, as well as Tassadar himself. It has a duration of 8 seconds. And can be upgraded with various buffs, which in the current metagame are not the most popular, nor do they seem the strongest for Tassadar. Finally, he's got Dimensional Shift. He will turn not just invulnerable, but also fully invisible, and this separates him from characters like Nova or Zeratul, and even Tyrande. Actually, I don't know about Tyrande, never mind. Tyrande guide coming later. It separates him from characters like Zeratul and Nova, who can be invisible, but they have a kind of blurry image that nonetheless reveals where they are to the keen observer. And as I said, invincible. He cannot be targeted. If there's anything that is about to target him, it will miss. So that you can also dodge skill shots, precision strike. You can make Zagara's Hydralisk disappear. You can make triple tap completely stop on you. So for all intents and purposes, it can be used as an ice block, but you can continue to move, and you're also completely invisible. There's something about that I'll come back to later, but that's his basic abilities. Oracle has a vision of this much, about a little bit more than 2/3 of a screen. And it reveals cloaked heroes. Finally, his Archon ability.
Choose a talent.
Turns him into a powerful Archon.
The twilight is upon us.
force wall.
Choose a talent.
After a small delay, make a wall that lasts 2.5 seconds. No one can walk through this wall. And it has a very short cooldown of just 12 seconds. That's Tassadar. Now I'd like to show you guys the document that I prepared, where I show Tassadar builds and information. Here's my one-stop Tassadar guide. Be aware, this may be one of the most professional presentations you've ever seen. Alright, guys, Tassadar's key strengths. Tassadar is a very strong and versatile hero. As I already said, you can build him in many different ways. He can offer vision at crucial junctures. You're about to cap a tribute on Cursed Hollow, reveal where the opponent are so you can set up in the correct positioning. Or chase down a Nova and show exactly where she is. Make her targetable, even for a Lily. He has self-preservation mechanics. You can upgrade his E, his dimensional shift, to both be invisible and quicker and heal himself. And in general, the E will be able to remove any debuffs from himself, like slow or root. He can be built for good damage if you take static charge at level 7. Don't worry about writing down the talents, I come back to it later. He's great against cloaked heroes, so if you're playing Hero League and the opponent's got a cloaked hero, consider Tassadar as a pick. He can fit in almost any draft, and the fact that he also gives a shield, which can shield people who are still at full health, makes him an excellent complementation for something like a melee assassin like Thrall, Zeratul, or especially Illidan. Tassadar is especially good on siege maps like Sky Temple and Haunted Mines. Why do I call them siege maps? Because there's an indomitable force that's continuing to do damage to your siege buildings. Whereas on other maps there may be elements that can be used for teamfight like Dragon Knight or Garden of Terror and even Cursed Hollow. On these two maps, Haunted Mines and Sky Temple, the respective value of cooldown Mule goes up by a lot, as well as shielding buildings, by slowing down the inexorable advance that these map mechanics have to kill your buildings. Is your core under heavy assault or is your keep almost dying? Shield it, prevent critical damage and then heal it back up with Mule. Tassadar has some key weaknesses too. He's got a pretty low health pool, and he can get strapped for mana if you don't take Conjurer's Pursuit or Psi Infusion. Picking up those globes can put you at risk, because you need to pick up regen globes for Conjurer's Pursuit. They can put you at risk by overextending into a lane, and that's exactly the moment that enemy gankers might be waiting for, especially if you've already used your Dimensional Shift, which has a high cooldown of 20 seconds. Use it sparingly. If someone is using a multi-shot or a puncturing arrow like Vala, and you see it's about to hit you, try to shield yourself to shield that damage rather than using your Dimensional Shift too impatiently, leaving you as a weak target for soon after. You can build it for crowd control. There is a slowing storm ability at level 16, which will slow people for 25%, so long as they're in the storm, as well as 1 second afterwards. And you've got Shrink Ray at level 13. You can also get the Force Wall upgrade, the Heroic Ability upgrade, but you will lack damage. So you will either lack good damage or you will lack crowd control. You've got to pick one. You can't have them both for the most part. If you go for a map utility test that are like Mule and extra shields and so forth, then you will not have as much combat support. You may need to sacrifice something really powerful like Healing Ward or Mule. Or Static Charge. Finally, he has a low base attack damage. There are a few characters that do less damage than him, and when you see which ones, you will feel like crying. Don't worry though, you can add more damage through Static Charge, which will make you crit on people that are in Storm or shortly afterwards, as well as Archon boosts your damage by a lot. Got some random Tassadar trivia for you, hope you will enjoy this. Basic attack DPS for Tassadar across all levels is only higher, as far as I know, than Abathur, Murky and Lily. Not exactly the biggest powerhouse targets. Murky and Abathur do barely more than slapping, and Lily, she's a little explorer. He does have less damage than Stitches as well, except at level 23. That's where he finally overtakes Stitches in base attack damage. Of course, this doesn't count Storm, Toxic Gas, or Static Charge or anything. He has even less basic attack DPS than something like Malfurion, Baliok the Fierce, which is only one of the 3 Vikings, only after level 6 he has less. He has more from level 1 to 5. He has less than Uther, Osmodan and Muradin. So try not to use Tassadar as a solo Merc camp acquirer. I mean, even with Psystorm they will go faster, but his base attack damage is very low. You will suffer a lot of mana and health depletion, and there's a big chance that someone comes to steal your camp away. Finally, in beta version 34.190, which is what we're currently on the 18th of March, you can still trace Tassadar's movement from his supposed fully invisible dimensional shift. This is a bug I expect will be fixed at some time, but as a Tassadar Pro, which you will be after this guide, you should know about this. If someone danger pings Tassadar or says, let's kill this hero on Tassadar, and you immediately go into dimensional shift, there will be a selection circle memory that follows you even though you're supposed to be invisible. So don't be surprised if people seem to be tracing your movements after you enter the void. In fact, the only way to kind of circumvent this is by taking the level 7 talent Deep Shift, which will extend the duration of your talent of invisibility. That is too long to trace with the circle. However, you'd be giving up something like Mule or Static Charge. Random Tassadar Trivia number 2. Level 13 Scryer, which enhances your trait, your D, gives you 20% movement speed for 3 extra seconds. It gives you 20% movement speed and it extends the duration of your Oracle. It already lasts 5 seconds, so now it will last 8. And yes, the movement speed counts for the entire duration of the new duration Oracle. That's 8 seconds of 120% speed. That is actually really pretty good. It is a good talent and you'd be giving up something like Spell Shield, Shrink Ray, Prescience, or... there's one more. There's one more. Trust me. You'd be giving up one of those. So the others are good, but Scryer is definitely something to be considered. Chase people down, run away, and reveal cloaked heroes for longer. Now, Force Wall does get regularly picked. It's a good heroic ability. In fact, we see a lot of use of it in the American competitive scene in 5v5 and very rarely in Europe as well. However, it may not be a popular choice in solo queue, especially if you use it to accidentally grief your own allies rather than to use it in a proper way which your allies will be able to benefit from. So, be advised. Mana. Mana can be an issue for Tassadar, and Psi Infusion can help you with that. Especially if you take Second Stride at level 16, you can get a lot of mana back for Psystorm, because the second storm is free. Now, it will also give you the best early game mana pool, but will drop off in general compared to Conjurer's Pursuit, because Conjurer's Pursuit scales and continues to add more mana permanently, whereas Psi Infusion will be kind of a flat rate. Level 16 Resonation slows people while they're in Psystorm, and I wanted to mention this talent because it's not part of any of my builds, and is it actually good or not? I tested it out and it seems that people or minions that try to get out of the storm will generally take about one more hit. This is because it slows people for a quarter of their speed, 25%, quarter of their base speed if they're a normal character, and it has about one tick of damage every half second. So they'll be slowed for 0.25 second worth of movement, likely resulting in an extra tick of damage. And just to mention, at level 20 there is 240 damage per second as per Tassadar's talent for Psystorm. So this will mean 120 damage per half second tick. So they take 120 damage more. It's not a whole lot. So is the damage worth it for Resonation? Probably not really. Is the movement slow a lot? I mean, if they stand in Psystorm and they want to run circles in the Psystorm, they will be slowed while doing that. But if they move out of it quickly, since it only has a 1 second duration post-storm, it probably isn't worth taking this talent ever. Level 16 Evasive Shielding, which barely gets picked, is actually a really great level 16 alternative choice. If you're not taking Static Charge at level 7, you'll still have benefit from taking a Double Storm or Dimensional Shift, but don't completely close your eyes to Evasive Shielding. It's a lot of extra movement speed on a character that takes it. So it can be useful to give your allied Illidan an even better shot at chasing someone down, as if they were getting away from Illidan anyway. Moving on to my first build, support DPS Tassadar. This is your de facto Tassadar build. You're gonna get a lot of sustain, you're gonna stay in combat long with Conjurer's Pursuit, buffing your mana, Prescience and Dimensional Warp, giving you a lot of dimensional shift ability where it activates when you're low, and also gives you life and movement speed each time it happens. Healing Ward is your great teamfight centric healing ability, and it will combine with your standard shields to keep people and yourself alive. Static Charge, Archon and Twilight Archon combine together to make Tassadar a very decent and respectable damage dealer outside of Archon, and a true force to be reckoned with when he is inside Archon. Here's the Handyman Tassadar. This is a Tassadar that will do an awesome job defending by himself on Sky Temple and especially on Haunted Mines. We still take Conjurer's Pursuit. Now I've tried to take Psystorm Overload with an increased Psystorm range, but invariably if you are the solo defender on Haunted Mines as Tassadar, you will run out of mana and you will tap the Moonwell once if it isn't dead to the Golem yet, and then you will run out of mana again and you will lose the fort, and you will think to yourself, if only I just had a little bit more mana, I could keep this fort or this keep alive and mule it back up and nurse it back up to full life. So, Conjurer's Pursuit. Reinforced Structure doubles your shielding on buildings, and it's awesome. You will be giving up Healing Ward, so maybe if you are the only character with a Healing Ward, even on mines, don't take it. But even then, it's really good, because if you don't lose on Haunted Mines, you win. If you don't lose any game, in fact, you win. And with this ability, you can make sure not to lose. You can make almost sure. Mule is to repair up your buildings. Extra good on Haunted Mines and Sky Temple. Shrink Ray. We have no synergy with any of our other abilities yet, so what is the best on 13? Shrink Ray is another way to reduce someone's damage on your buildings, and it's a great all-round utility. You don't have to take this talent here, but it is part of my build because I think in a neutral environment, Shrink Ray is the best at 13. Level 16, Evasive Shielding. Again, you could go extra Storm, but you are not having Static Charge at 7, and I really like this ability. It's very useful. You can save yourself while solo defending from people better. The alternative choice here would be Dimensional Shift to heal up extra, but I really like both. Finally, level 20, Storm Shield. You don't have Static Charge, you're not going to do as much damage by yourself, so you could go Twilight Archon, but it's better to have that really short team fighting cooldown ability, Storm Shield. It was only 45 seconds of cooldown, and that's the one I choose here. Finally, I wanted to have a small discussion here about some specific situations. There will be situational decisions that you need to make, and you can help make them with the help of this guide. They may not necessarily be 100% sure correct, but this is a decision that you need to use with your own judgment. For instance, if the opponent has an Illidan, or a Diablo with Lightning Breath, or a Sergeant Hammer, Shrink Ray goes up in value. You may be doing my build or variations of my build, but just keep in mind that Shrink Ray is extra good. When Diablo uses his Lightning Breath and you use Shrink Ray on him, he does half damage with that ultimate. That's really good. Illidan in general requires a lot of CC to keep him in check, and Sergeant Hammer has a high basic attack damage that if you lower it is also very useful. Mule goes up in value on the two maps that I already mentioned, Haunted Mines and Sky Temple. If you chose Static Charge at level 7, the value of Second Strike, level 16 talent, goes up. Finally, if your team already has 2 healers or more, or you already have 1 or 2 heal wards, consider taking that level 4 reinforced structure by, and in that way helping out your team. Even on something like Garden of Terror or Cursed Hollow, you may think, why would I take something that doesn't help in team fights? Why wouldn't I take a 3rd heal ward? But it will help you in team fights to not lose a tower or not lose a keep, just about, and keep it alive. The enemy team doesn't have the experience and they don't have as an easy way to finish off your team when they're trying to all-in you if a team fight ever went sour. Don't underestimate the power of anti-siege. Okay, that was it. Thanks for watching this part. And what I will do now, as usual, as you may be aware of with my one-stop guide, I'm going to play Hero League game with Tassadar. I'm going to take him, and then I will choose one of the builds. In fact, I will choose one of the builds, or maybe make adjustments based on the situation. You can get a feel for how I would like to play Tassadar based on what my team needs and what the opponent has. Looks like we found a game, guys. That's nice. I will let my team know, as usual, that I'm quite set in my mind on what hero I'd like to take. Wouldn't be much point if I played Nova now, would it? That was the last guide that I made. Hi guys. Good luck, have fun. I would like to play Tassadar if possible, but it's Haunted Minds and the opponents may take it before I can. So let's see, we're gonna get Illidan. I'm gonna be third to pick the third wave on my team, so I'm not sure that I can secure Tassadar. And if I can't, this is gonna be the first forfeited game that, well, not forfeited, but the first game that I can't use. So far I've always been lucky in my guides. Who is Grubby? My father. Nice. Look, we're against Guardsman Bob. Is he always trying to get into my guys? Nah, just kidding. He doesn't know.
I will fight to my last.
Okay, smart pick by Bob, who counterpicks Illidan in the sense that Illidan now doesn't have a Rhaegar ally. Illidan does love to have a Rhaegar ally. Zeratul, not very strong here. Any healer? Very hot, or Zeratul? I'm kind of okay. I like Sergeant Hammer here, but if the opponent gets Stitches,
Ready to roll out.
the Hammer goes down in value a little bit. So we are discussing who will play as healer, and if Very Hot gets Malfurion, that will be something. That'll be useful. Now I expect from the opponent, maybe, it depends what they want of course, but I expect good choices for them would be Stitches and let's see. Oh, they got Tassadar. I can't use this game. Damn. Alright, I'll stop recording.
I stand ready.
Okay. I found a second game here. Because the first one someone took Tassadar. Hi guys. First game someone took Tassadar and I couldn't take him. I'd like to take Tassadar. Now if someone else takes Tassadar, obviously, Hero League, I can't choose him. It was Haunted Mind, so I kind of feared it since I was 4th pick. Now I'm 5th pick, but we're in Garden of Terror. It's not per se that Tassadar gets picked here all the time. So hopefully I get to have him, and I can do this part of my one-stop Tassadar guide. Laser trail, not feet.
Ready to roll out.
For the frozen throne.
Hey. Alright, we need a healer, Rhaegar would be great, and then a tank like ETC, if Bartasso know how to play it. ETC would be great, Murden is fine too. Up to you.
Ready for action.
Okay, he would like to play the Dwarf. ETC is good because it gives attack speed and it splits up the enemy. And attack speed is great for a character like Illidan. They are really good dive buddies. But Merlin is definitely not bad as well. He provides a lot of disruption. He just does it differently than ETC. So comfort level is most important here. And the fact that Bartasso would prefer the Dwarf, totally fine. Now the opponent has two of the best damage dealers in the game at range, Vala and Sergeant Hammer. So being Tassadar here, I believe I will have an important role to shield my front line, particularly Illidan, from taking excessive amounts of damage that would result in their untimely death. Now they have an Uberak who is a good tool of peel and CC. I do get to have my Tassadar, so that's kind of nice. Now they correctly analyzed that a second damage dealer is enough when you have Hammer or Vala, and that you don't need a third one, so they're providing more peel. That's my phone. They're providing more peel, taking a second melee warrior. A second healer would have been fine too, but I think in particularly a second warrior works really well here. My job will be to keep Illidan alive, and it is Garden of Terror. I look at our damage. Rhaegar has low damage, Myrddin has low damage, so I will need to build my Tassadar for as much damage as possible. This means that at level 7 I will be taking static charge, and okay, you should turn off phone. There we go. I will be taking static charge for damage. I will also be upgrading to Twilight Archon at level 20, but there's a whole load of other skills that I can still choose how I'm going to use it. At level 1 I'll be taking Conjurer's Pursuit. This will help me with my mana issues that Tassadar always runs into. At level 4 I'll probably go for Healing Ward. I mean, Rhaegar does have a Healing Ward, but it's good to have a second one. We may not always be together, and it's good to place another one if the first one gets killed. I could take Building Defense here, but I think on Garden of Terror it's not as important. The other choices at level 4, I could go for Leech Life on Shield. That may seem good on something like Illidan, and in fact it probably isn't bad. I'm considering it. But in my experience, Leeching Plasma offers a negligible amount.
10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kill! Fight! Spread my spores!
I'm thinking about Leeching Plasma here. It's probably gonna be Healing Ward though. Yeah, it's gonna be... I'm gonna go for Healing Ward. It's too good to pass up. At level 13-16 I have a choice. Do I go for Shrink Ray and Second Strike? Or do I go for Prescience and Dimensional Shift? Dimensional Warp. And it's nice to get extra survivability. It is nice to do extra survivability. But I will choose later, when I see how the game is going. So now I do have to pick up this globe. I do use a shield while I go there, so that I don't take damage from his poison. Probably didn't need to use my dimensional shift there yet. Hard push at bottom, so they're roaming downwards.
Just a few moments. I hope you're ready.
That's a good kill. That's a good kill. Now it's my job to kill this wave as quickly as possible, because they have one dead. There's no one currently doing XP here, so if I kill this wave quickly and my minions push to their towers, that means that... that they are back already. So he didn't really lose XP, but it does allow me to leave my lane quicker to start collecting some seeds. That's kind of cool. Means I'm stealing a few seeds here from friendly neighborhood Anubarak. Nice peeling there by the Myrddin. Gets hooked, but he's not too sad about that. This may have been a too greedy globe to take, actually. But luckily, Myrddin helps peel for me. I need some mana. My hammer did a lot of damage down there, taking down those towers, maybe even the Moonwell. Important not to let her go uncontested for too long. I would like to go to the Merc camp together with Illidan. Illidan doesn't really need help, I'm just jump starting him. But since they did come here, okay, never mind. This one is over. They tried to steal our siege giants here, and we stopped them. And we tried our bruisers, and were similarly stopped. Interesting. They are not doing bottom. Oh yes. Now they are. Okay, now we do this one. But I don't like everyone going, so I'm gonna capture the top XP. Static charge before I wrestle with this bar. Oh, there is an interrupt. I should head there quickly. Noticed it a little bit too late. She did get a lot of seeds, but she will die for it.
I see you
I do
survived
believe. I
another
must
night.
hope.
How wonderful.
She got the plant terror for them. She's gonna die, right? Yeah. Please soak this one, boys. But we got the lead in experience points, so that's nice. But you see, every time I attack something with static charge, it gets critical damage, and this works for several seconds afterwards. I'll stay to defend here because I don't believe it's very good to defend the terror with everyone you got. Let's see, they seem to be doing poorly. Looks like I beat Lily. And so now I'll have to go defend the middle lane and this plant pod. No one died, which is encouraging. Now I will take down this pawn, and then, oh, he has beds of barbs, and then I will go
You've
top again for
destroyed
XP.
the enemy's terror.
No need to fight, in my opinion. Lots of XP here. He does have bed of barbs, this Anubarak, which means that when you walk over his spikes, which stay, you will take some damage and you'll be slowed a bit. I wonder what he has at level 4. Underking, which means he can travel further with his E, as well as do more, do it more often.
The night comes, heroes. Remember.
Okay, we need to defend this.
And claim their seeds.
There's a pretty big push they got going here.
You've lost a fort, heroes.
I should go get some seeds now.
And gather the seeds.
Hammer's doing a lot of damage down there with the siege all the time. Need to keep that in check. And actually a team fight wouldn't be a bad idea soon. We're gonna first get some extra seeds. Oh, okay, okay. That's pretty close. Merlin will take it, looks like. Oh, will Bob take it? Yeah, they both just used alts, so either one should. Yeah, we should interrupt and fight here. We're gonna be 13 slightly earlier, looks like. Especially if I get this wave. Time to choose now. Shrink ray. Yeah, just keep pushing. We already used Odin here. Oh, that's deep. That's really deep. Pretty good damage on on Stitches. On a little low. Okay, where's our Panther? It got cracked already? Yeah, it did. Pretty quickly. Okay. Okay, they didn't get much out of that yet, and we're all gonna be here. We're gonna be roughly same level. Lily isn't here yet, so we could potentially go. Or we could section off Lily. If we keep Lily separated, that'll be nice. Get that heal ward right away. Oh, I got trapped. I'm gonna E right away. I'm gonna do a shrink ray on Hammer so that he doesn't do as much damage. That's just kind of to dissuade him, Storm, but he still came, so... Wow, it rooted the mines! Oh, what a narrow shield on... he died anyway. Gonna shield Illidan so he can do more. Yes, I want to hit you now. Just zoning them out from here. Maybe get some XP, get 16 sooner. Nice result, we got the plant. Gonna take a drink. And we can take some camps. And then Merlin take it. I'm gonna go for second strike here. I haven't been the main focal point of damage, so I feel like I can afford it. It's the most greedy, highest damage output thing that I can take here. I could go for dimensional shift, but I don't feel like I need it. Let's defend middle. Do some mines. You're stuck! You had to use that shit. You had to use Putrid Valve just to get away. That's really good for us. Kill that heal ward. Immediately E because they're gonna try and kill me. Shield the Rhaegar. Storm. Second storm. Damage on the ones that I stormed. Okay, I have Archon again. Could use. Is it a good time? I think so. Do we want to keep doing this? They're not 16 yet. It depends. If we get a stun off or something, or they overcommit, then I could do it. I think we should leave. We're quite low. We had a nice push at top, but we also lost the fort ourselves. I do need to go get a drink. I agree with Muradin, but it's just a logistics issue. Oh. Vala isn't here. We're a little bit slow to get there. Not the best Archon here. I didn't have shield yet.
The night comes.
I think we should pull back.
Kill the shadows and flame.
Shield, 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 shield. E. He got me. But we got Vala as well, and now we may get hammered because he has no Z. Greedy! Oh, we got everything! Hey, I did the baits. Tassadar is the perfect bait weapon. Wow! Nice job, guys. Oh, nice. Nice job, guys. Okay, now we get a few seeds. Anubarak will be out soon. We get the smalls. It's risky for Tigers maybe to get top smalls. I will let them use their own judgment. No advice given. Someone will need to defend the middle here. We're basically 4 people now against still just 2. So what the enemy will try to do... Oh, Anoop is defending this first. Well, that makes sense. The other one that is back is Lily. She may try to get this. Oh. They defend together. Get top left smalls. Before Vala does. Vala will be there. And Stitch. So we'll basically be 3v2 with Rhaegar and Tassadar. Oh. Wow, they continue to surprise me in how they go. Did not expect that. But the important thing is, they don't have a plant yet. Well done, Guardsman Bob. A little bit deep for me to follow up on. Gonna shield him. Looks like they won't get a plant. Shrink ray so he can't get away. Yeah, we need the plant. If we keep fighting, everyone will need to keep helping. This Merlin is pretty good. It's fun to play with him as a frontliner. Yeah, if we keep fighting there, no one is allowed to go back because he would be effectively abandoning the team. But no one really allowed to get the plant too. No, we're not really allowed to forfeit the plant too, is what I mean. Yeah. It's really bad to let the plant die. You wasted 100 seeds and all the risks that you took for it. Just W right here and it will get both the siege giant and the fort. That's okay, we can kill the siege giants in a regular fashion. If we push bots, we will take them the furthest away from the hard camp at the top. Gonna bait out a hook. I'll go for Twilight Archon here. There's a very quick ending to... Oh my god. Oh, nice healing by Rhaegar. There's a very quick ending to the Plant Terror if the Plant Terror attacks into Sergeant Hammer. So I'm glad that it went somewhere else, and particularly that we are distracting them from effectively defending the Plant Terror. Keep up the pressure, guys. Okay, now we go support the Plant Terror. Thanks. Okay, that's pretty good, but they don't have anyone who died yet. Okay, I want to kill that heal ward right away. Most people don't do it enough. I have my own heal ward. Looks like it's a bit hard for us to kill him at this phase.
Remove this hero from the fight.
I'm a bit out of mana, so I can't add a lot. But if we can gank them, then it's okay. S5. They split. Hammer's not here. That's exactly what we need. Thanks. Give some vision to see what's happening. We can get a keep now, because we have them outnumbered and we're still up a level. Put another healing ward. Some shields on Muradin. Now we should get another keep. Get a keep. Okay, I'm a little bit low now. We may have to go back. We'll all have to go back. Uh-oh. Wow, jump in again? Oh, man! This is crazy! Yep, I want to go back too. One is okay. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Okay. It's okay. Just run, just run. We needed to use the one is okay principle, where it's okay if Tychus gets hooked and killed. Now, I died as well. It would have been okay 4v4. But I don't think they're gonna get a keep. Hopefully not. This is difficult though. These are the only two ranged heroes that we have, and we have 3 melee. They're also getting seeds. One is getting seeds. No, 3v3. They're getting this one. We can get a plant from this. So it's risky to contest the bottom now, but there was one top and the rest was going bottom. So we get this, we both have a plant terror. That will kind of make it equal. So the build I have here is Conjurer's Pursuit, Healing Ward, Static Charge with double Archon and a second strike. And at level 13 I've got Shrink Ray. I've been finding it useful, but I could have also gone for Distortion Beam. I think since I'm strictly building for damage here, Distortion Beam might have just added a little bit more utility. I think it would have been a better choice this game. But feel free to let me know in the comments what you think of it. Oh, that was close. He's just hitting me. He's only hitting me. What the hell? Rhaegar got hooked, he couldn't heal me. I still had a shield, but he only right clicked me and we got 3 dead. This is bad. This is really bad.
Your enemy's terror is right.
Yeah, but if we stayed at keep, they would keep putting a W as well. Probably we lost this game.
The enemy is attacking your core. We've lost.
I think that's it. I think that's the first loss for a guide. I mean, I did decent damage. I could have maybe shielded myself one more time, but since we... My tank is died at the very same time. Yeah. I think slow effect could have helped a little bit, and
Not all
maybe just the decisions we made, maybe attacking at their middle keep when we didn't get it in the end wasn't useful because the seeds were up in the meantime. We had 5 versus 4, but we were unable to get another keep, and if we use that time to get seeds and we get the first plant and then they don't, we would have done a lot better in the fights. And it's because we stayed, and I said, and we all went to attack the second keep but didn't get it. Who knows, we may have been able to get it. We could have, yeah, we could have gone for the seeds quicker. So lots of strategic decisions on this game. I still think that the concept of the build itself was valid despite the loss. Hope you guys did enjoy this game and get some ideas for how to play Tassadar with the various builds and decisions on the spot when you see what the enemy composition is and your own. Hope you enjoyed the guide in general, and good luck out there with your Tassadar play, and see you guys next time with my next one-stop guide, which will be about Zagara. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on stream, and see you next time. Bye.